Well, thanks again to Laura for opening her space and sharing Yoga Among Friends with us and hosting us tonight. And we thank you for coming. It's an honor to do this with all of you. And at this stage in my life, I really just want to go and do work that's meaningful. So it really is sort of guided by the community. If people are interested, I feel inspired to participate, and knowing that you're interested just means so much to me, and I know it does for Maureen. And Maureen is an author. She has a new book out, Spiritual Victim's Guide to an Unapologetic Life, which is exciting. I went to a book signing recently. And she's an actor, she's a storyteller, she's a community builder, like Laura said. And I dabble in a few types of creative expression myself. So when we were processing how to coordinate this program, we thought, well, it would be good to start out with one of our mediums. And it's an easier way probably for us to tap into some of the insights and messages that we want to share and create that safe space together. So I'm going to start by playing a song that I thought might be suitable for tonight, and then Maureen will also share something, and then we'll talk about why we're here, and we'll dive in together. So lately I've been playing this instrument because it's smaller than a regular guitar. It's called a requinto. It's a Mexican version of a smaller guitar. It's tuned a little differently than the guitar, and it has a classical, almost flamenco sound to it. And one of the interesting things about Maureen and I meeting this year and connecting on these programs is that she goes by the spiritual vixen, which means female fox. And my whole life I have been guided by my spirit animal, a fox. And now live by the Fox River and Fox Valley and so on. And growing up, my favorite superhero, my mom is Mexican, my mom's side of the family is all of Mexican descent. And my favorite superhero was Zorro. So not your ordinary superhero, but the masked hero. And a few years ago, my brother commissioned a Mexican guitar builder to make instruments for us, one for him, one for me. And he did so, and he named them after he finished these custom instruments. And he named my brother's El Alma, which means the soul. And he named mine El Zorro, which means the fox. And it wasn't until then that I actually learned my childhood superhero. I don't speak Spanish very well. That Zorro meant fox. So there was one more connection to fox, and that also connects Maureen and I. So I will play a song on this requinto. This song is called Diamond. A diamond takes shape slowly with the force of integrity. So let's take it easy. I know we'll get it right. A diamond takes shape slowly with the force of integrity. So let's take it easy. Really young.
take it easy. I know we'll get it right. Give me some dust from your feet and I'll be blessed, 'cause it's had your company. And don't let me off of this track, even though I knock down each hurdle as I go. Oh, what do I know? A diamond takes shape slowly.
Yeah, so today I was posting something on Facebook about soul food, singing, dancing, stillness, and storytelling. And sometimes the rough path of modern day romance can drain us of all the sweetness. And so this evening is about infusing a little bit more sweetness in the conversation, a little bit more romance, a little bit more humor, so that we can go deeper with each other. So when I first invited Todd to come and do these talks with me, it was right around the hashtag #MeToo, and I really was getting a lot of conversations coming up with people saying, I never told anyone this before, and all of this was, coming up, priests, presidents, popes, and there was no corner that was untainted by it, and wanting to have the conversation. But I thought, well, it's time for us to have a conversation together with the masculine, and so I invited him to come and hold that, and then hopefully have a community conversation where we could go even deeper and beyond the scars of current events. So this poem that I'm going to share with you is sprung from the current presidential election and my son coming out as transgender in the same year, and all of the other things that were resting in my gut from being a woman for the last 52 years in Hollywood and out here. So here's my poem called The Angry Pussy Poem. If I tell you of my heart, I should tell you of my home, places I have lived, and the lands that I have roamed as a gypsy, as a child, as a tramp, and then a thief. The truth I'll be confessing in the hopes of some relief. You see, my heart is not an organ, it's the address where I live. It's the tribes in which I've traveled, it's the things I can't forgive, like the lack of understanding and compassion and decor, while America is weeping like a two-buck jilted whore. In the land of milk and honey with its sunny apple pie, little hands are in the White House and they're serving porn and lies, and I'm feeling all conflicted and evicted from my flag because it doesn't seem to notice that my child is in drag and he needs to use the bathroom and there's no place for a piss, and the liberals are posting hashtag we're not this. But we are, because we're united in that US kind of way, in the secrets we've been keeping, and the words that we don't say, that we don't say, that we don't say. And the modern man is restless, and the news does not seem sound, and we're building walls and running all the good folk out of town. And I cannot blame my country till I tell you of myself, and confess my own infringements like a good elf on the shelf. Of my salty days in Jersey, Springsteen country, I was raised where we lived on buttered ends and all the fucks we never gave. And we learned to keep a distance, smirk like sly comedians for the boys who wouldn't be busted, would be bullied into men. On the playground where the sissies would be tortured into silence, and my Christian heart would learn to grow in tolerance for violence. And I raised my hand in question because I thought it made no sense. How could God not love her children? Why would God put up a fence? And I felt my good blood boil when I thought I saw enough, but the church bells rocked me back to sleep, though the king was in rebuff. And the hands that sought protection through confessions never heard were the same hands pressed in prayer and ordained worthy of the word, and how strongly they admonished just to amputate the truth Forgive me, Father, I have sinned, and find no comfort in your booth. You don't represent my stories. You've cloaked me in your midst, where I'm classed as whore or virgin to negate my other gifts. And your gods have all been male, like your presidents and popes. Your female wage is shy of truth, and justice holds no hope. And if you want to teach compassion, how about we start with that? How about we tell the children that a pussy is a cat? But soothe your sister's sorrows and say, please don't pick your scabs. Just ride it out, it's no big deal, so your body's up for grabs. And then we all remember, because the memory's there. The gaze, the glance, unwanted ways got tangled in our hair. The moment we were branded, that summed us up as gang. Not whole and holy women, but two boobs, a hole in shame. But cover costs for the Viagra to ensure you come correct. Withhold her pills, deny her thrills, and leave her with a check. Send hearts filled with dictation, though she's still illiterate, and underwires, boost them higher, make some money off the tip. And post her face in all the tabloids, burn her daily and brand her twice. And it's best if we remind her it'll be good if she plays nice. And point the finger over there where education is withheld and the threat of rape adorns escape and lives unparalleled. But let's not take a tally here. Let's all drink and all get drunk. And when suffering depression, blame it on the time of month. Let's not take a true assessment, not hold it up to light. Let's not be bold, for we've been told we really have no rights. Save your hearts for better times when words are worthy of their weight and the owner of our bodies are no longer for debate. Don't put lipstick on a dead girl. Don't pin up your pretty prose. And don't pretend you're doing something to relieve her of the blows. Raise your daughters to have confidence, to feel that she is able is a joke if you have left no empty seats about your table. Raise your daughters to have courage to truly find her voice is drained of all validity if she is not the choice. So if you want our love, you'll need to know the places we have lived, and you will need to know the trauma of the fucks we didn't give. And you'll need to look still deeper to the words you didn't say, the roles that were forbidden, the inequity of pay, the constant degradation, the branding, the burn, the higher education never offered, never earned. From a country of warmongers who still fear our bloody show. We've landscaped our mother's nature to ensure she will not grow. In a land of opportunity, prescriptive sealed with vows, and the beat that goes on playing to the slaughtering of cows. So my sweet, my dear, my Valentine, my fellow countrymen, I know it's not the type of love note you were hoping I would send, but our rivers all run red and our children all are blue, and I heard you promise once that you would do all you could do. But I got a funny feeling that the ceiling won't be smashed, and the house will go on burning, leaving nothing in its ash. And we'll buckle from the weight of our own domestic violence, and where once we stood the brave, we will surely fall to silence. So Howl in Harmony came about from a story that my daughter told me. And she said, Mom, and then I told Todd, and I didn't know his whole thing with the foxes, so it was really weird. He was like, what would we call the event? I said, I think we'll call it Howl in Harmony. And he said, why? I said, because my daughter told me this story about ancient cultures and how before there was words and before there were languages and before there were alphabets, there was just sound. And these packs of, people would get together, and when they were approaching each other, one pack would howl. And if the other pack was friendly, they would howl in harmony. And when I met Todd, he told me this wonderful thing about harmony, because I'm a horrible harmonizer. But this has really helped. He said that to harmonize, it means to help make the other person sound better. And we've gotten so off track with that in relationships, right? And we're hoping to reverse the stream, and I think we can.
Yeah. Harmony is just such a beautiful concept. To be able to make the other more beautiful, you have to sacrifice yourself a little bit. You have to be willing to go into the background. Like, everyone can sing a melody of their favorite song, but they probably don't know the harmony. Though the harmony is there in almost all the songs we love on the radio, and it just goes unnoticed. And the melody is so beautiful, and we want to sing it because of the harmony around it. And that was already an ancient concept built into our culture, built into our socialization. So when Maureen shared that with me, I thought, yeah, that's the name for sure. It's perfect. And it resonates with me on multiple levels, especially as an artist and a musician, being able to connect the harmony in music with the harmonization of people. So I was a little apprehensive at first because it's a sensitive topic and subject. So I was a little nervous, especially in the first Howl In Harmony. But I'm so glad Maureen talked me into it. Because I learned a lot in the first one, and I've learned a lot just being able to spend more time with you and hear your stories, and it's been really inspirational. So I'm happy to be here on this journey with you all.
Yeah, and in that, you know, we all have stories, you know, and we are all trying to find our way on the path back to peace together. And so in this conversation, that you were interested in hearing about the stories, you know, the heartbreak, and we can hold all of that here. And in speaking about it, it helps to bring healing to it. You know, conversations are very healing. So what's said here, what's shared here, you know, that we ask that it stays here. But that, you know, I hear very often like, oh, I don't want to be like TMI. I don't even know what TMI means. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, it's never come back to bite me in the ass. You know what I mean? And I think we're too protected. You know, because the truth is, as soon as you share your truth, there's someone, maybe 3 or 4 people who are going, fuck, me too. You know, and that's where the whole hashtag Me Too came from. It was like, for so long, we were supposed to suffer in silence and not tell anyone. We don't want to talk about it. Don't share this. Put it under the rug. Like our mothers, our fathers, and everyone said, and you know, women aren't the only ones who've suffered sexual abuse, and you know, Howl In Harmony isn't just about that, but you know, all of the things about sex. We don't talk about sex. So we're hoping to have a conscious, compassionate, and curious conversation, because we certainly don't have all the answers, but when we start to talk about it, the answers live between us. So you might have some inspirations to share, you might have some stories to share, and that's mostly what the idea is for this group.
And we also have this.
Thank you.
So you don't have to share, in front of everybody.
We have this, which is, we'll pass it around, and if there's a topic that you want to share, and you don't want to say, I need to share about this.
We already have some.
Vaginal warts, can we talk? You can just drop it in here and go, oh, I wonder who has vaginal warts.